Booms. Okay.
Warming up.
Oh man, but now I have to see if did that create two videos again.
That instant disconnection. While
Yeah,
we
I know.
starting.
The very first things. I'm gonna do a control refresh on my feed, and looks like it's one video only.
That's good.
Yes, let us not add to the confusion. I'm gonna study the fan. That week.
Okay.
We're just resharing our own links for self-promotion.
YouTube is running. Facebook is running.
Where is the YouTube link? Where is the YouTube link?
Okay. We should.
Posted to Twitter as well.
All right. Okay, things are running. I do wonder if we are in focus. It again looks like the background's more in focus than we are. See, that part looks more sharp than we do. That was interesting.
How is
To
it?
show your appreciation.
That's
If you have a
super.
question, because this is Q in sign language.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And then if you want to applaud, which I guess is a sign language clapping as well.
Yep.
See, now you're doing it.
What?
You're making fun of me for doing that fish thing.
Oh, did you post it in Baduy Pride chat?
Oh, not yet. It's funny. But I forgot to do that.
I didn't make fun of it. I just do it. So I want to stretch.
Crush.
Who cares? The GIF I found does not perfectly capture that moment
There,
in
now
the
it's
play, but it'll do. Like I super want to convey that message. That so much of social media makes me want to say, "Who cares? The cow is gone. Get it back." I'm a Sondheim child. I can't help it. Oop, 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 oop. Hi, Aina.
Shout out to Andre, who is currently at work, so can't really stay and watch the show.
Aww. We have given you your shout out. May you see this when you watch the recorded version of this episode. It's also why I still like doing it in this format in terms of like a live stream that gets saved to Facebook and YouTube because people can view it long term. Because some people have asked us like, should we try Twitter Spaces, which is really just an ephemeral podcast, so to speak. I mean, you could contrive a way to record it like you just do a screen recording of your app so that you capture it, but it's not the same as um, a format like this. Yeah, Ina, yeah, you're totally on time. Actually, we forgot to send the promotion notification thing to the Baduy Pride chat group,
And we
so-
haven't worked on the list for next week.
Yeah, well, we typically do it.
I feel we have to start mapping that out Saturday.
Well,
So there's
yeah.
time for the poster, and then at the end of the Sunday episode, we can then plug the
Mm-mm.
topics.
It's just this weekend's been quite busy, admittedly, and then even this morning, like, oh, let's do a thing for your mom, and like, so, oh, we're gonna be a sign language thing, huh? It's gonna be like that. I can do rainbow. The rainbow. Okay. As usual, for if they're first time viewers, we can't see specifically who's watching, but we'd appreciate if you leave a comment to let us know you're there, so that you can interact.
We keep the show as interactive as possible with anyone viewing while it's live. So when you send in your comments, we do try to incorporate it into the show, unless it's totally unrelated.
Yeah.
We
Or
have
inappropriate.
we have had friends who have conversations in the comments while the show is ongoing. So please don't be ashamed to.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's like I know a bunch of people have made Baduy Pride friends, and that's always a welcome thing. And then, if at the very least, please like the video, share it. They help us get more viewers.
I don't think we have an official Baduy Pride couple.
What do you mean official?
That they really only met because they were watching the show.
Well, it doesn't. Know.
Is it official? I'm not sure.
I think that counts.
Okay.
I think that counts.
Oh, okay. Now I feel bad that we didn't prepare the fan art.
But I thought you wanted to save that for like an anniversary.
I do.
Make up your mind. When do you want to do it?
I will make up my mind. Let's start. We'll be right back after this intro video sequence. It's only a few seconds.
Yeah,
enjoy.
Wait.
Oh yeah! Really great!
Hey everyone, this is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, our little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
It is completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. As always, do comment in and we will incorporate those comments into the show. But this is our 219th episode, and it's a quarantine check-in episode.
Yeah. So, and if you haven't really attended these before, these are really just us checking in on everyone, taking it more chill today, and then so it's just a very casual hangout, so to speak. And then we just talk about how things have been going recently for us, and then you can feel free to share or not how things are going for you. And it's a relatively safe space, although I will remind everyone that it's also a public space. So only share things you're comfortable with being visible to the public.
And for those who might be new to this show, if you chance upon this video, know that we have a lot of episodes out there that you can check out.
Obviously, there's like 218 before this one.
And this episode is among our Pride Month episodes in the sense that we have been spending this week making sure that there's at least one episode every week devoted to a Pride topic.
Mm-hmm.
We covered everything from Soggy to corporations and Pride. Today is a quarantine check-in because it's just making sure we're all okay. But we will have, excuse me, after talking about quarantines. But we will have another one this coming week. We'll just have to map out those topics.
Yeah, we just don't know what that topic is. So, yeah, that's the thing. So,
in the meantime, we are wearing our Star Wars shirts. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy I am your Father's Day.
Spoiler.
So late for it to be spoiler. Hey, Carla, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so what's notable this week? So, I guess, for me at least, I have finally gotten my second dose of Sinovac. So, in about 2 weeks, I will be considered, actually fully vaccinated for now. So that's not bad. That's it's a helpful thing. Our remaining point of stress is trying to figure out how to get Toby vaccinated in a timely manner that respects the prevailing priority system that is supposed to be in place.
Having no comorbidities, is that the term?
Toby not sick.
Yeah. I basically don't get to move forward in the queue, and while there are many unofficial reports of ways to get the vaccination sooner, I just don't feel comfy doing that.
Mm-mm.
So Well, let's see. Let's hope it's a good decision to choose the other path.
Well, if anything, I guess what was notable for me for going for my second shot was that I was kind of alarmed that there was no queue at all at the high street vaccination center. I mean, I kind of understand it in the sense that obviously BGC is the kind of location where majority of the population is a working population.
Mhm.
So it's during weekdays, people from outside the gig come to
Yes.
come to BGC and work. Hey, Rahan, and
So
then
we're kind of like Singapore. That a lot of the people here are transients and working.
I guess
And
in
then
a
the
manner of
core-
speaking,
the
but
core-
then they still have a more of an opportunity to leave. It's sort of like
Mm.
Makati also, where the weekday population is it's like twice
That's true.
the weekend population. So maybe that's partly why there was no queue. But then also, I feel like
He
if
went to
there's,
Picard for a second season.
if there's no queue at the center, then there must be room to vaccinate more people.
True.
And then I know when I shared it on social, and then friends were like, "Oh, just make Toby walk in and stuff." But then technically, Taguig does not have walk-in vaccinations. Everything is by appointment. So then I don't know, like, should I have made Toby try and stuff, and all these things, and it goes back to the gray area.
Yeah, and there's that. So if I do walk in, should I bring my company ID? Should I bring my biodata? Should I bring a receipt showing that I live here? I mean, since there's no clear cut instructions and guidelines, it's kind of tricky to just do it.
Yeah. So, but we're thinking about, and then I figure, of course, some Toby mainly qualifies uh, as probably a lower priority A4. That he is someone who is still employed and is still working, and therefore should get vaccinated.
But then, if you look at some guidelines internationally, I also qualify as A2 because of the CPAP.
A 3.
A3 because I do have a breathing related concern.
He has a chronic respiratory condition.
One can even connect my allergic reactions to dust if one really pushes it as a I forgot the term, but there was
allergic
that,
rhinitis.
Yeah.
Because we've heard like people in like some LGUs like QC or something that supposedly even allergic rhinitis is being considered a comorbidity, and therefore, go as long as you have certification for it. So, I'm not entirely against it, so it's okay. So, I'm just trying to figure that out. So it would be nice to get Toby vaccinated, and then that could be one less point of stress.
Aina mentions that maybe there are folks who scheduled but didn't show up. It's a huge possibility because a lot of people are scheduling in multiple areas.
Yeah, that's true. I know of friends even who like are scheduled or who try to schedule in multiple cities to see which one will accept them first. Whether it's because of their city of employment, their city of residence,
or have the brand
family
they
residence. Well, I don't want to think about that. I don't care anymore. So I got Sinovac, whatever. I'll just take it. Depending on what reports you read, some will argue that vaccines like Sinovac are more effective against certain variants
because they have the whole whatever
whole virus approach thing.
Yeah.
Others argue that it's the Pfizer's and Moderna's that are more effective against certain. I don't. Obvious. In the long term, it just speaks of there's a lot we don't know. We haven't had time to run the normal due diligence and the kind of robust clinical trials that really give us more information.
And that's how science works.
Yeah.
Science is not perfect the moment it comes to a certain conclusion. It comes to a certain conclusion based on what they understand at that moment. But it does update itself as more information comes in, not like certain other philosophies.
So, I guess the only real message is that if getting an appointment to get vaccinated can be tricky, and depending on your area can be very difficult. So please, if you do have the chance to get vaccinated, we will always strongly recommend that you do. The potential side effects are very limited. They're not even 1%. So go for it, because when you have us in situations where people we know, including Toby, who are willing to get vaccinated but can't, then, we're trying to respect the queue to favor those who are more eligible and more qualified.
There is, we cannot deny that there are a lot of people who really need to get the vaccinations sooner. People who have, definitely health related concerns, whether it's age, whether it's
Comorbidities.
more specific comorbidities that can make it much more complicated if the virus hits them. Then we have to also bear in mind that there are people who they might not have the comorbidities as well, but do live in situations where being vaccinated is urgently needed.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the I forgot the word. They can't easily do social distancing.
Yes.
They don't easily have isolations as options.
Social distancing, especially in Metro Manila, is a privilege.
Yeah. So it hurts me to know that there are friends who are, I don't care. I'm gonna get it anyway. I understand though that it's also important to get vaccinated, but it hurts me to see that the system is that messy, and for some, they're just grabbing it as soon as they can because they're afraid that there's no system to really dictate when they will get their turn.
That's kind of fair.
So,
I mean, like in the same time, I queued for the LGU, but then uh, I work with I'm working with my company to make sure that we're also trying to get a supply of vaccines later in the year for all of our employees. But then at the same time, if there's a way I can work with the Taguig government to get my team vaccinated sooner, I'm gonna do it. So it's just all tricky. And then I think it's all boiling down now to the A4 category, which is supposed to be essential workers. So it's people who continue to report for work at offices, who are on the front lines from a economic standpoint. Um, and yes, naturally, these people need to get vaccinated first. So this is a lot. I always imagine them to be like delivery people, service crew, people in retail. So people who continue to report directly in offices, stores, and other businesses. And they definitely need to get vaccinated first. I just don't know if they have the equal opportunity to do so. I mean, I'm generally happy with how the Taguig self-appointment system is working. It's definitely helpful. I know it's a little crazier in other LGUs, but we'll see. So that's like our personal friend. So Aina mentions that yeah, she's scheduled but not yet cleared, and see that's a classic case. Like because of other intervening medical conditions, you still need to get cleared by your doctor, which is the right thing to do. But at least you're going through those steps and making sure that you when you are cleared and are eligible, then I know you're gonna go for it.
Kenny greets, guys. Happy Father's Day to you both. Thank you. We're not really officially fathers, but we appreciate the greeting.
But we have an anak.
Yeah, and we do also have a lot of people who have decided to call us their fathers / daddies.
Well, I will say again, we have an anak. But then we seem to have, and we have a godson. I accept that. I accept the godson because I want to be a godfather. Okay.
I'll prepare the horse head.
Sadly, we do have a horse head. I got us a horse head. Okay. So that's that, I guess. And I hope that people, I hope everybody else is like doing okay. I hope if you, and again, like if you do get a chance to get vaccinated, please go for it. And it's almost, it feels almost on a similar degree of importance as like getting registered for the elections. Like I know it's tedious. It means dealing with government bureaucracy, but in the end, it is for the common good. So I will compare the two. Please get vaccinated. Please register to vote. Hooray! Okay.
On other news,
yeah, I'm not going to read that comment on air. Okay.
on other news,
yes.
and no, we're not reading that one online. So there's a lot of speculation because Kojima has now been seen to be friends again with Konami. As far as
Literally friends on Twitter.
and social media, they have re-added each other as followers, which makes one think maybe the fight is over. Maybe we will see a Kojima cut of Metal Gear Solid V. Maybe we will see Silent Hills back.
Oof, Silent Hills, the mythical game.
One can only wonder.
These are the things that get Toby excited, And it's rare for Toby to comment on things that happen on Twitter. Toby I feel like is only obligated to be on Twitter, but he doesn't really engage on Twitter. So for him to turn to me like, "Hey, did you see Kojima and Konami are following each other again? Like, oh, okay, that's
This is not
big-
like Toby.
this is big news for Toby. Okay. Tristan jokes in the Philippines, everything is pila. That is true.
Yeah, everything is pila if you don't have the money.
Ooh, ooh,
Have to make that
ooh,
clear
ouch.
because we've all seen it.
Yeah,
We're like quietly waiting, being patient, following the rules, and then someone walks in and kaibigan ko si ganyan or ganyan ganyan. It's in our culture, and in as much as we might say, in some places it feels that it's okay, in other places it's not. In the end,
it's not.
yeah, and I mean even us, um, we have been embraced so much by Obar that
I was
we
gonna say that.
we can skip the line if we wanted to, and just sign up in the area where we normally do. But we still choose to line up. We still choose to wait our turn because it just feels right.
Yeah, and we're gonna get in. We arrive early enough to get in.
Kenny mentions maybe we could finally get PT.
What's CT?
So PT was the test horror game which had you going around the house. Um, that was rumored to be the test engine for the Silent Hills game.
Oh, I thought that was Silent Hills.
And it had
Okay.
that girl following you, which when some people tried to hack the mod that was out, you could then look at the girl as she's following you, and there is really a girl following you.
Oh,
But
creepy.
during the experience, you don't actually see the girl. So there's that
Ah.
effect. It has an interesting subliminal effect that you do feel someone's following you the whole time.
That's terrible.
So
That's terrible.
yes, we're kind of hoping it will come back. There is another game, I think it was called Abandoned, that is showing this foresty place with lots of trees and an abandoned house or cabin or something. And some are saying that's again another test video for Silent Hills. So one can only wait to see. Carlos says it's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
I haven't played it.
Yeah,
You
we've
need
only watched some of the
You needed a
videos.
PlayStation 4, I believe, to play it.
Which we still don't have.
Yes, and then there are videos you can find online to check it out. So it's kind of interesting. And then some are also sorry, not Summer House City. There's also an upcoming director's cut edition or golden edition. I forgot the official term for Death Stranding.
Oh my god! What else is there to add?
I don't know, but now I have that. I should have waited. Remember, I was saying
No, it's fine. You still wanted it. Aren't you happy you played it?
yes.
Oh, then that's fine. It achieves its purpose.
So is this year the year of us having duplicates of stuff? Because that seems to be the theme.
That
of
is
this year.
that.
We have
a
Suburbia and we have the Suburbia Collector's Edition. We have Pret-a-Porter and the Pret-a-Porter Collector's
Second edition. Oh, third edition.
We
It's not
have
collectors.
Terraforming Mars, and now it's all in this huge box. That have some
Terraforming Mars
duplicate
storage box.
stuffs as well. We have
Imperial Settler storage box. At least Tricarion is not a duplicate because we
Yes.
never owned Tricarion,
True,
but now we have the collector's ed.
and
Um,
same thing is happening to Robinson Crusoe in a few months.
Yeah, but then we're not going to replace our base game. We're just going to add components.
We
to it.
still have a duplicate of Fortune. Of Last Night on Earth.
Yes, but I don't know if I ever want to let go of the original boxes. We haven't even opened the anniversary ed. Oh my god. So because a lot of games are hitting their anniversary milestones and then are re-releasing, we're going to have a duplicate of our copy for Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Yes, I'm
Um,
getting tempted to get the Carcassonne one,
the Carcassonne 20th,
even if there's nothing really special or what. Just
except for those little pennants.
Not
That-
even.
that one. Like,
not even. But I just want to support the line.
But then we have to get the Rio
Okay,
Grande like
'cause-
European edition.
Because I feel bad that our only Carcassonne movement is buying stuff from secondary stores. Meaning, they don't feel that.
That's
They
true.
don't feel that support.
But it's because they're not re-releasing those damn mini expansions.
No, they are.
No, but they're only putting it the big box.
I
Don't-
know.
That's
I
an
know.
insult to all of us. And the fact that the Hans Gluck whatever are still releasing mini expansions in Europe, which are not making their way to who's the publisher now? Z-Man Games. It's like no.
Although we have been ordering directly the foreign language ones and just printing the English translation of the rules.
Yeah, Our copy of the Barber Surgeons is technically not in English.
I'm so happy I found that.
I'm good for
But
you.
but I think my best finds were the two
The two mini,
the two
the two-
originals, which I got as free add-ons.
But guys, that's a set of 6. So we have 2 of the 6. And then what's worse about the 6 is that each of them include one tile from a 7th mini expansion called the Crop Circles. So we now have 2 of the Crop Circle tiles, but there are 6 in total, and we will never complete them unless we find the 4 others of the same edition type.
which are not likely, but hey, that's the world. Kenny shares. I'm taking my time with Concrete, so far really liking it. Yes, Concrete is a good comic. It's a really good read.
Hello, Jed.
Hey Jed, happy Daddy's Day. Well, you're part of that. You're the gym daddy.
I have not gone back. Oh, I was thinking.
Oh, and we still have the containers for the cats.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
us know when.
They have 2 bags now. So, that was what I was saying about. Because like technically, gyms have reopened. Although I still don't feel 100% comfortable. Plus, I'm kind of lazy because going to the gym means I have to wake up earlier to leave and then get back before work. But I think once my 2-week cycle post vaccination is up, I might be more open to going back to the gym.
Which I think you should, because you are still paying for that.
Yeah, because I'm still gonna still pay for it. Because since suspension is charged, then we can't do versus paying for a suspension and paying for a subscription I'm not using. I'd rather pay for a subscription I'm not using because my contract period is moving. It's a weird.
So another good thing this week was we were able to catch the show called The Art of Facing Fear.
Oh yes,
which was a theatrical performance using Zoom that had actors and performers across 5 different places in the world.
Well, 5 continents, so it's many
Yes.
countries.
And then our friend Bong Cabrera was part of it. Sadly, the last show was 7 p.m. earlier tonight.
But they
But
might
they
have
are-
another run next week.
Yeah, they were talking about having additional runs. Please watch it if you can. They're completely free, and if you want to, you can then donate to pay it forward for the next group of people who might want to watch.
It's really. I mean, okay, so we've seen a lot of like Broadway and West End productions put on YouTube and other online streaming sites, but typically this is just a recording of the stage production, put online. This production, The Art of Facing Fear, was designed specifically with Zoom in mind. It's still a live performance. We are still watching the actors from around the world perform live, but
They used
But it's a Zoom
soundboards,
format.
There were special effects using the filters. I shared in the chat group the link. You want to load it, so at least we can screen share the visual.
okay, one moment.
For those who are in the Baduy Pride chat, you will find the link already in the chat thread. For those who aren't, we shall at least try to flash the visual so you can at least see it. But it's 25 actors across 5 continents. It has an interactive element which was very, very touching and very meaningful for the audience to be part of. So you might want to try to check it out and catch it if they do proceed with the additional shows. Because they did mention their plans to do so.
Yeah, it's a group called the Red Curtain. And then I don't know if I want to play this anymore, but basically, oh, you know what? I have another option.
Theater for Good.
Okay. Can you just show that link?
There, yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah.
So please try to check it out. If they do expand the show, there's no mention yet of additional shows.
Yeah, it's just the 3 first.
Yeah, but during the what's the word? There's a term for that. Unpacking the
debrief.
Yeah, they did mention that they're planning to have additional shows. So please try to catch it.
Yeah, we stayed up and watched it at 2 a.m.
It was really good. They used dance. They used gravity. They used contrast, light and shadow. They used color, language. It was just such an amazing experience.
Really, 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 really
And
powerful
this isn't
stuff.
the first one we've seen
From
thanks to Bong.
Yeah, because Bong was also in another one. And then it was another Zoom designed thing
Mhm.
where the frames mattered.
They use the gallery display for Zoom, so that's multiple screens. But then when you watch it, it all forms one scene. So they really planned how everything will be presented, and that was just amazing. Um,
Yeah, I like this one because it was super dynamic where you'd have them turning cameras on and off. And then we had the zoom setting on where if you don't have video, you're removed from
for
the
the
zoom
display,
view. Then you could really see people popping in, popping out,
yeah,
popping in, popping out, and then doing different things. And then someone else was feeding audio from
hmm
times to help with the foley elements and the music.
really good.
Wow, just wow, just wow.
Also, there was the recent Queens of Pride show.
Oh yeah, by Spaces Manila.
Which was basically the closest thing we have had recently to an O-Bar night experience. Um, there were 13, if I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
most of the girls were back together for that show, and then they performed together live. And then yes, they got tested. They made multiple reassurances that they
Mhm.
got tested, and then they were pretty much also had gotten vaccinated to love yourself.
They had so many numbers. They had two
See the
sets
group
of shows. It was so beautiful seeing the choreography and the group numbers again. I honestly hope that that was a recorded show and that the link will be available soon because I want more people in the international circuit to see
Yeah,
it.
but then I know like midway through the first set, they were already having the
Strike
yeah
issues.
copyright strikes, so the video was getting blocked in certain countries. So
Yeah.
then like so that limited its reach, and that's just how these things go, because of the songs. It it's hard to do any performance based thing online when you are doing covers or you're not even. It's just you're dancing to music that you don't own. Then it's complicated.
Yeah.
So ah, but that was nice. That was a very, very nice experience. Our only challenge that intersected with Bong Show. And so there was a point that we had the divas on the TV, but then Toby and I had dialed into the Zoom play respectively. And then from time to time we'd look up, but then like it was but still the play was worth it. The play admittedly took my attention
Mhm.
and I couldn't really juggle.
Then what else? What else do we have, or what else? What other updates do we have? We tried a few new board games, and we'll be covering those in reviews. We tend to cover games every Monday, but just for teasers. So there's the Unlock series of games that are Star Wars themed.
Oh my god, Star Wars Unlocked. That was cute. That was super cute.
We tried one of the three adventures. That was quite an experience.
I've been as much as I'm trying to space these out to like play with friends, but then I was telling Toby I just want to try it, okay? Because I love Star Wars, so I want to play a Star Wars escape room,
Mhm.
and the flavor was really good. It really felt it.
And the need to try to think beyond what you're expecting to solve some of the riddles was acceptably fun. It didn't feel too much of a cop out. At the same time, it didn't feel too on the nose.
Mm-mm.
There's also the Undo board game, which we featured
We already featured one
last Monday, which was basically the closest thing to a choose your own adventure meets Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Actually, no, not Quantum Leap.
Yeah, but it's kind of Quantum Leap because
The closer
but
thing
it's
would
multiple
be
quantum leaps in the same
the
episode.
Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
You just wanted to bring up Jake
No,
Gyllenhaal.
because remember that movie where he has to go back in this point in time because he keeps trying to stop this event from happening.
Yeah, but then technically, Undo is only one cycle, whereas that movie relied on multiple iterations
but
of
it
that
has
loop.
Jake.
See, we go back to that. We go back to that.
Then there was we dove back into Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective.
We still
And-
haven't finished this.
And for the
darn
first
campaign.
time, we scored 100.
Oh yeah, we scored 100.
We matched Sherlock's score.
Yay!
We haven't beaten him. That's our goal.
No,
We have to beat him.
I'm still I still contest. Our first priority is to solve the case because every time we try to game it, like we play strategically to minimize our moves to beat Sherlock, we don't answer all the questions and then we screw it up. So that was our lesson from the very first case of this adventure.
Jed mentions was supposed to catch it earlier, but didn't get the passcode from Bong in time. Oh, we signed up directly with Red Curtain.
Yeah.
So they emailed the password. So that might be the better way to do it in the future because it's not paid anyway. So you just go to their website.
If the next run is not paid,
and then you'll be asked to register an account, and they will send you the email to confirm.
Yeah, it's Eventbrite, so that's not bad. That's a pretty established site. And then ultimately you get a Zoom passcode. So
what else? What other updates do we have? Weirdest LSSS. I'm finding myself jumping back to Enya music, which I was playing when you were out. And then when I started to realize I was getting too weirdly Enya, because I was singing along. And
Maybe
it's not
you-
common that you sing along with Enya music.
maybe you affected my Spotify because there was that recent like that auto created content of Spotify and like in terms of like based on your listening habits, here's some conclusions we've made about you. And then it told me one of my weirdest pairings was like dance music and Enya. And then I know I don't specifically listen to Enya.
Maybe
I
that was-
only listen to, but I do have my yoga tracks, which might include Enya.
That's
It's
true.
like I don't know what they are.
and that would connect to dance more because you do your running, which has normally your dance music.
yeah, actually when I run, I do Audible. But then if I'm doing my circuit training, I'll listen to OBAR music. And then
Because if it was weirdest pairing was Enya and Moana, that would be me.
that's true.
Because I did jump from Enya to Moana. Because at some point, the Enya music was now the Enya songs that were used from Lord of the Rings, which I
Mm.
don't like.
Okay.
I like more the Enya
And
music
for
from her albums.
slightly more context, you have to understand. So Google, say Toby does not have his own Spotify account, but it is linked to our home unit. So when Toby, asks it to play music, it plays on my Spotify account. And then since I was out getting my vaccination, it was funny that on my phone I suddenly get a notification that my Spotify is playing,
Mm.
and like, oh, Toby is listening to music because since it's the same account and your Spotify can only play on one of your linked devices, then that's why I got that notification, which is just funny. I don't mind. It colors my music choices to some degree. So yeah, I know I got home. It was Moana.
Mm.
Oh wait, oh wait.
I blame Lin Manuel.
Oh yeah, and then I guess from good stuff is that In the Heights the movie.
In the Heights, the movie.
In the Heights the movie.
While it doesn't have all the songs, and I will always feel sad for the parts that were changed because I love the original so much more. What they still have in the movie is not bad at all.
It's a very powerful adaptation. It had certain tweaks to the story to bring in some very
Relevance.
relevant modern
Relatability.
issues
Yeah.
that are affecting the Latino American
Mm.
community. So that was good.
There's valid feedback and criticism across the board, but in the end, I still am happy that one, this um, this unknown work that gained popularity has now reached the next level
Mm.
and is reaching a wider audience. Because again, who makes a musical about a completely new story?
Mm-mm.
All other musicals that have gotten popular are all based on something else or are based on existing material. So this was a huge accomplishment, and it's nice to see it has reached that level.
Jed says he likes the salon I don't number. Ooh, no me diga. Tell me something I don't know.
Although Jed, I get freaked out with the wigs, the turning
the
wigs.
turning mannequin head. So that was,
I could have done without that.
but it's part of the the surrealism approach.
Yeah, but it's not surreal enough
Mm.
because the people are just reacting with the look, and then you have the mannequin head turning as well. If the people were reacting theater, you know how the theater has the levels of one is kneeling, one is
Yeah,
tiptoeing, so you kind of make it all work.
Jed was asking if that happened in the stage play. No,
No.
it did not. It did not have it in the stage play.
And if you search online, you will find a number of student productions that tried to capture the original production, which is one large set. It's the city corner,
Yeah.
but then these structures can flip around to become internals.
yes.
But that's pretty much it. Everything else is on that spot. So it's amazing how they did it on stage, and then it's interesting how they tried to to make it much more parkoury in the
Mm.
movie, because there's a lot of I'll jump in here, I'll move out
Mhm.
there, I'll scroll through here. But that's how the medium works, and
Yeah.
that's what they did.
Mitch is here and says
Hey,
Happy
Mitch.
Father's Day to your dad and everyone's dad. So Happy Father's Day again. Happy Father's Day again.
Um, Going back to Lin Manuel, those who are on Netflix can
It's
now
like a friend.
can also
Lin-Manuel.
catch the new animated film
Which one?
Luca, if I remember correctly.
No, it's not. It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Okay, I was wrong.
We have to resort to
Creative means.
creative means to watch it.
But that's another work that's out. So I'm very happy that this is turning to the year of Lin.
Oh, that's true.
There's even the Hamilton thing. It a bunch of people were making a trailer if Hamilton were a movie,
I haven't seen that.
and so there's this trailer that has come out which nicely blends the music together and all this and that. So it was interesting. You were playing the discussion on the trailer.
Mm. I thought that was just a fan thing. I don't
Yeah.
think it's a
It
project.
wasn't an official project, but it blew up that people were.
I just
all,
realized that our
talking about
caption is not appearing in the live video.
Oh no!
Oh well, you can't see where it says quarantine check-in week 67. This is our 67th week in community quarantine, ladies and gentlemen. We're still here. And the only thing that is not here is our caption. So that's funny. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, continuing on.
New ticket to file.
Yeah, right? It's like, if it's not one thing, it's another.
Can you try changing our setup? Maybe that will affect whatever, and then make the caption appear. Nope.
But, it's like, we don't got much going on.
I'm just hoping it might it now tries to load whatever it was supposed to load again.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's a minor thing. At least we're online.
Okay, what else? What other updates? Lots of people going crazy over Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, because of the new remaster album thing. I am more amused by people trying to analyze because she announced it's going to be in November, and then when people check, it's like 22 weeks until November, and you know how 22 is also a song.
Well,
And then or there was like, if you look at all the release dates, and then the digits form 1989. It's like, okay guys. She likes
quite,
these things.
she's quite nerdy when it comes to the numbers thing.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a Swiftie or anything like that, but I love watching those YouTube videos that dissect,
Analyze
that analyze her videos and relate it to like when she teases the video versus what the actual video is, and in terms of what the content makes possible references
which is
to.
awesome things to look into compared to the other videos that dissect to identify which X is what song.
Yeah, there is that, but like, that's so old hat by now. It's so passe.
What else? I'm trying to remember. There was someone else who also released an album recently. Oh, the Jonas Brothers have a new album.
I was gonna say Lord has a new single, but then Toby's like, the Jonas Brothers. Obviously, it shows one, we don't really listen to Lord outside of Obar, and two, Toby still listens to the Jonas Brothers.
Well, I like watching the videos.
You just like watching one Jonas.
Going back to Lord though, talk about reinventing yourself.
I haven't even listened to the song.
Um,
I just saw the weird promo image was like she's crossing over the camera line in a bikini or something.
Lots of 80s references, but to summarize it quickly, if Lord was in her goth phase, she's now found the age of Aquarius.
So it's Xanadu?
It's very
Peace, love, happiness.
midsummer.
air. Okay, making it midsummer doesn't make it happy though.
But it does have that feel.
Wow.
You will see when you see the video.
I will
We
try.
will watch the video
I will
after
try
this
to
episode.
make time to watch the video.
Yes, they still.
The Jonas Brothers
Okay,
still sound
both
good.
Jonas Brothers and Lord do sound great with their new albums. They all still sound pretty awesome, and yeah. I'm just happy that good music is still coming out.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Zac Efron, um, what?
Wow, we weren't speaking of Zac Efron, but
Speaking
okay.
of Zac Efron, for those who have been wondering what he's been up to, there is a TV series that he's part of with his brother where they go around the world and try different things. Lots of shirtlessness and beardy moments abound, so you might want to check that out.
That's
I
the
think it
Netflix
was
one.
Down to Earth, if I
So,
remember.
yeah, but
correctly.
yeah, so it's been out for a while, but it's
Yes.
only recently that the first season has appeared on our local Netflix.
Yes, so you might want to check that out.
Wow, there's like a lot of people going in and out of the stream. If you're still watching, do say hello. I still see our last comment was like for Mitch. I see Jed still commenting. Who else is still there? Or who is like actually working but listening to us at
Okay,
the same
and then there's a lot of excitement for the upcoming Kylie Lady Gaga um, combination.
I thought it was just the one song.
I mean, yeah, you have that one, and then, well, I think Lady Gaga basically has a lot of.
Actually, I know
Yeah.
it's like part of the anniversary for that album. Then
Yes.
it's like individual collaborations for each of the
So
different songs. or
I'm
something.
happy for that. I'm always happy when that means more people will finally realize how Kylie's been.
I
there
love how
and
that
so
was
awesome.
executed because it was really Kylie tagging Lady Gaga. Hey, what you doing tonight? Like, what the hell is this? And we were, I think Kylie Twitter was just freaking out for a while. Like,
Jed,
what
of
is
course,
going on?
didn't like it. It's okay, Jed. I know also you don't like Kylie. I know you only play it for us, and we were fine with that. Because I remember there was that one time, Jed, we were talking to him, and it's still kind of a new friendship thing.
Mm-mm.
And then he goes, I don't know, people keep people keep requesting for Kylie, and we were like, that's us.
We're the Kylie people.
But yeah, what else? I'm trying to remember what other updates we have.
It's been a fair amount of time since the last time we did a quarantine update.
Yeah, LOL Drag Queens is coming to its end.
Oh my god,
The
isn't
finale,
that crazy?
the finale
It's like-
episodes are coming. Time Bomb kasi. We love Time Bomb. Sorry, Jed. We will always ask for Time Bomb.
we love Time Bomb and we love Precious's Time Bomb jacket.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was-
beautiful.
And I will never forget Precious, the jacket, and a motorcycle on stage. You remember that?
Ooh.
It wasn't really a motorcycle. It was more
A
just more a
scooter.
scooter, but it still had that impact of
Like what? And then they did that again though for like the
for another song.
Robin,
Yeah.
I think, or something. Yeah. That was Cat Cat.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was Cat Cat.
Oh, thanks, Mitch. Yes, I'm on my second shot. So in 2 weeks, I'll be
Mm-mm.
fully vaccinated. And then and then like my parents are getting their second shot soon. And then my brother recently got his first.
Yeah,
So
my mom had her second na rin.
yeah, so it's like I'm happy about at least most of my immediate family circle is okay. So I just need to buy a token. So yeah, if you have leads, let me know. No, but I'm going to try to work very closely with the city of Taguig to see how we can get this done. And because the whole A4 qualification is just very nebulous at times, and at some points I'm irritated that it's nebulous, but at the same time, like if I'm going to show up at a vaccination center and see that there's no queue, then let's take advantage of the nebulousness and like let's just do it. You know?
Is that Picard? Yes, I'm flirting with you on
The
that.
joke is not landing for majority of the people.
Because it's just meant for you.
I get it. It's not funny, but I get it. Oh, gross. Don't do that on air.
What else do we have? Um, lots of games, of course, have been coming out. But for those who still play video games, pay attention to Epic Games. It's almost like every week they have a new game.
Yeah,
That's
this weekend was Overcooked 2.
prior to that was Little Nightmares.
No, but
so-
Little Nightmares was on Steam also.
Was Steam.
Was Steam.
Free
That
on
was Steam. That was
Okay,
Steam.
okay. My mistake.
It was what was the previous Epic free one? I can't remember. But I'm not
Yeah.
even signed up on Epic. It's like I signed up for the is that the EA one? Is that Epic the EA one? I can't
Epic
remember.
basically is doing all this free stuff because it is trying
It's
to
a new
reach
platform.
people from Steam. But who are we to complain if it means we build a library of free games, right? So, yeah.
I haven't bothered. Okay, so I guess the only other thing which I will cite like pro and con is that so our building still doesn't allow
Mhm.
guests, okay? And that's like despite things being on a slightly more relaxed degree of quarantine. And I will be the first to admit getting a little stir crazy. I really want to see people. And then I don't think I'd like I'm not as happy from I'm not as eager to meet people outside. I would still feel more comfortable meeting very close select friends
Mhm.
in an environment I can control, which is like home. But yeah, so we don't have that option just
And
yet.
as terrible as it will sound, close select friends is not a measure of how close you are to us in terms of inviting you, but it's also a measure of how active you've been, which brings the question of how exposed you have been to
Yeah, we
others.
look for people who are similarly shut in and don't go out of their house very much.
And it's not because we don't trust you or we are grossed out or anything. It's just that on those rare occasions we do choose to visit our own parents. We want to make sure that we have been minimizing our own levels of risk.
Yeah, and it's a two-way street, right? Like we're trying to minimize everyone's exposure because just meeting with other people, you assume that you are exposing one another, and then you go with it. Oh, Black Swan is here. Hello. So yeah, so it's like that's been weighing on me a bit, and then even though like we didn't have immediate plans, but just knowing that we can't have guests like kind of annoys me and makes me want to have guests more or want to see people more. Just because like just today we ran a quick errand in the morning and then we were thinking while we're out. I mean, normally like when we step out, we might as well eat lunch outside so we don't have to cook and then go home. But then since I don't feel comfortable about being out, period,
Or being in an air
or
conditioned
being
enclosed restaurant.
yeah, an indoor restaurant. Instead, we ordered takeout and brought it home, and like it was something, you know.
And then I talked with strangers.
Okay.
When I was at Ace Hardware,
Oh,
and
okay.
there was that couple who had a dog.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, they have a dog. And then I started talking to them about Yoshi.
Toby
about the
struck up
dog.
a conversation in queue.
And I was probably now the story they'll bring home as that weird guy in Ace Hardware who started talking to them.
Mm.
Because I was done with the line, I left, and then it was their turn. I went, I bought the kakanin and all that. On my way back to the supermarket, they just stepped out of Ace.
Mm.
So of course it was, hey, hi again. But in my mind, I was like, okay, maybe they're weirded out.
Ooh, stalker.
But it was literally just because
Trying to make new friends. But it's also because Toby follows the one-way routing in SM
and
Aura.
others don't.
Yeah.
And I will be the one who, if I see people walking against the arrows, wrong way.
Or he will call out people for not wearing their face shields correctly.
Mm.
I mean, we as much as we think that we agree that face shields are kind of stupid, but as for as long as it is the regulation,
Yes.
we're all gonna suffer together. You know. Wow, Mitch is like hardware. Also, one of those places you might chance to see a cute guy. I have never seen a cute guy at Ace Hardware, except for the
Well-
people we are with.
There are mirrors.
See, you just answered to my point, But I don't know. But then again, we also don't really pay attention.
But there was that one Ace Hardware that had that cute, you know.
Is it something we knew?
No.
I don't remember this.
Wala, it was just may itsura. But then he was also, not smart, so he descended to the B level. Anyway, Goldilocks has expanded in SM Aura.
What are these news
No,
items?
this freaks me out because
Okay.
so we have the steak place, the ihaw place.
Yes.
And then we have Goldilocks.
That used to be like a tiny booth.
And then that Goldilocks tiny booth is then the bathroom.
Yes.
And then after the bathroom, it's the payments and stuff.
Yeah, the Bills Payment Center.
But for some reason,
Hello, Urim.
the Goldilocks location is wider now.
How?
I don't know.
What did it
and
eat?
and when I saw it, because remember that narrow place had that small ref display which had the cakes,
Yeah.
and then they have the open display which had the shelves.
Yes.
But now there's enough space that parang they have a table. It's that much
I
bigger.
think then it couldn't have expanded to the right because the bathroom's there. That means it expanded to the left because there was still
which
space.
implies the counter
Yeah.
lost space. So I'm kind of freaked out by it, and I did study it further because when I saw that it was bigger, I've done my groceries and I bought kakanin. So I'm like, I have
Yeah.
to avoid getting tempted to get a whole roll of braso. Not
Or a
because
cathedral window.
not because I can't eat it, but because it won't fit in the ref.
What a dilemma. What a dilemma. Yeah, Mitch cites egg pie. Jed's like they serve food now.
Well,
Not their hot meals. I think they have a table.
the only time that they do serve food if it's a Goldilocks that's attached to a Jollibee,
Mm.
because that's when they have palabok and stuff as well also.
Or
But-
the big Goldilocks.
Yeah.
Like remember Ali Mall had that big
Yes,
one.
those.
So there's
Um,
that.
And then what else? Um, there was a flurry of scramble shops recently.
You like that pun? It's a flurry of scramble shops.
Didn't realize I did that one. But no, there was a bunch of online sellers who were all selling scramble at one point in time, and I was like, I guess this is the algorithm working. But it's just really funny that there was in QC, in Parañaque, in Makati, and in um, Manila. So I was so tempted to order because I was thinking it was deliverable, but I was worried it'll arrive and it's just juice.
That is a valid concern for scramble.
Scramble is this crushed ice drink that's pink in color, normally with powdered milk, sometimes sago, and chocolate syrup on the top. It's a street dessert that's very common in front of schools.
Yeah, we're helping Black Swan over on YouTube to
Mhm.
explain what scramble is.
And then Urim says, eat enough braso till you can fit it in the ref. Urim, do you really think I did not think that and calculate in my brain if that was doable? No. Just to understand, when we buy groceries, we buy a ton of vegetables.
Yes.
We're very, very happy with our vegetables.
It literally becomes this wall that probably affects the ref airflow.
Now, in addition to that, we usually have around 2 to 4 dozen eggs. And I use 2 to 4 as the number, depending on how much eggs we've been using in the previous week.
Yes.
So sometimes there'll be one tray left, and then we'll buy 2 trays. So that's 3 done.
Yeah, our maintaining is about a max of 4 dozen
Yeah.
eggs in the fridge.
But we normally have 2 trays whenever we grocery. So that kind of fills that side, right? On the opposite end of that, we have at least 1 jar of kimchi.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of whatever's chilling there, including water in case we'll open the vodka.
Soda water.
Yeah, soda water. And then on the upper level, then it becomes whatever is leftovers that we're chilling, which then requires a shoebox-sized area if I'm preparing to use the chicken. I prepare the chicken. Now, then we have all the keto snacks.
Which also occupy another shoebox sized area.
And then if I did choose to get myself some desserty stuff, I might have a few bread talk stuff or a braso or a cathedral window. So I'm very keenly aware of the space. Where I'm right now stealing more space for my stuff is the freezer, because that's where I keep my bread. I freeze my bread, and a roll of bread, which normally dies within the week, can last a month.
We have to talk about Toby's Double Dutch adventure. So the other week, he was so proud that he found this promo of
It's a buy one take one.
buy one take one.
It's buy a
because that was a gallon.
buy a
right?
half gallon, I think, or a gallon. Buy
It's a gallon of ice
and
cream.
get a free pint.
It's not quite the same buy one take one logic, but you did buy something and get something for
Yes.
free. But they were both double Dutch.
Yes, because the others were like, you know, Buko Pandan and Double Dutch or Rocky Road and Montecado or something. And I'm like, I don't want these flavors. And then I saw Double Dutch. So I got it.
Oh, Black Swan asked a difficult question. So besides he doesn't know anything of his home country, but then can he say that he was born in the States? I don't know what the proper terminology is, but then I mean like it is technically the Philippines is still your home. And then you know by Philippine law, if you are born to Filipino parents,
You're
you are a
Filipino.
citizen.
Yeah.
You just have to make your choice when you come of age.
Yeah.
But technically we confer Hello again.
In terms of the legal documentation, that only kicks in when it's at that point. Like if the citizenship is in question, then
Yeah. But it's it's like it's weird. Oh my god. Thank you, Araling Panlipunan, essentially history class, for teaching us the nuances of the many ways you can become a citizen, which inevitably leads to the questions about people getting born in airplanes, and then
yes.
and then like if they're born in an airplane at midnight and they're crossing the international date line, mga ganun. It's like,
Mm.
ah. So yeah, so one oh grandfather, then yeah, no sorry, you're American. No, you're American. You're but you are I guess Filipino American based on ancestry
Ancestry.
and
But
and
your
race.
citizenship is American,
Yes.
unless um, that happens. If you're referring to the international dateline, yes, there have been incidents
Of people
where
born in
in
international waters.
vessels.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whether it's a boat or a
Now,
plane.
if you're really wealthy and then you're finally about to have your first kid, you could go to that place in the Arctic where all the datelines meet.
Oh,
So
then
you,
you're kind of
say
multinational.
you can claim to be a child of all time
But
zones.
it depends on if all the different, well, at least time zones, yes. But if the countries you're trying to claim for, it depends if they confer citizenship based on
Yes,
geography.
true,
So,
true.
wow.
But that is also the one place in the world where you can play a spinning game and you're traveling through time. 2 hours ahead, 1 hour ahead. Yay!
The things that Toby wants to do.
I want to have a party there. And then we're all seated in one of the time zone pie chart effect. So it's like, hello, future. You are 4 hours ahead of me.
You realize it's also going to be freaking cold.
Yeah, but we'll still have that most awesome party that no one can ever claim because we are, in all full honesty, what time is it for you? It's that time. Well, this time for me.
So it's
But
a
we're
time
all
traveling party.
all in the same space.
Mm.
Because others will say, yeah, that's like having a Zoom call, but you're not in the same space. See? And then you'll have that, and I hand you something. Ah, I passed it 5 hours into the future.
Please don't lean against my vaccine arm. Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Don't touch my vaccine arm, especially now, because you're so weird. um, stupid minor question. I was always wondering because I've been listening to a lot of Ty and That Guy, which is basically a podcast by Wes Chatham and Ty Frank, who is one of the authors of The Expanse, and they talk about science fiction and The Expanse. It is marketed as a podcast. It has a podcast stream on Spotify, but then it's also on YouTube. And then the YouTube video looks like us, looks like this. That it's two talking heads, with some graphic inserts. But then yeah, so then it makes it a podcast. So is that what this is? Is Baduy Pride really a podcast? We just didn't really envision it to be a podcast.
I still hold that podcasts are audio, and now the term is just applied because our technology now allows video to be in smaller bites. Because the point in the past was you could do a video thing, but due to internet technology and the like, it would always be grainy, it would always be pangit,
Mm-hmm.
unless you went for really high end. And then you would do audio. So audio podcasts were common, and then there were live streams and video casts. But now with streaming having accomplished what was once deemed impossible, and then now internet speeds, thanks to technology, reaching speeds which were once unheard of.
Except we still have stars.
Yeah, um, the term just now applies.
And it may also speak to how people engage with our content because I know and I mean like if I weren't in the show I would probably be just playing this in the background while doing other things because admittedly the video does not you know we're not doing anything crazy on the video. I mean like unless you just want to see our occasional glances to one another, that's about it. So yeah, so Black Swan says, what is a vlog but a visual podcast? No, a vlog is a video blog. and I initially marketed this as a live stream vlog because I don't know because I wanted we kept joking about getting started on vlogging and then but then yeah, but this is largely been a talkie show.
Mhm.
Because there was like, because initially there were sort of plans of like, do we want to make it a full production thing and like do edited video, do inserts and whatnot, and then we
Mhm.
haven't gotten to that point.
And then there was the option to try to do that using OBS, but none of us have the time or patience to learn it.
Yeah, we'll get there maybe. So now we're just still using Restream with our buggy star system and all that. But and it's not Restream's fault. Apparently, it's our internet provider's fault. And never the twain shall meet. Okay.
Facebook is launching the podcast feature this week. The problem with many of the things that are launching is the question of whether or not the content is saved. And in many ways, that's why we're still sticking to this system because we like the idea that after the episode, it's saved and others can still, if ever they choose to, connect with it at a later date.
Mm-mm. So I know that if they're copying Clubhouse, then Clubhouse is also ephemeral content, like Spaces on Twitter. And then, so I still like this. I don't mind this format. And then just us talking headsy. Um, Plus, we get to parade different shirts. And then sometimes we have visual aids. The board game discussions have us awkwardly holding up things.
Mhm.
And then Catbus gets to be in the episode. Catbus, 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 and that and the squid ball, the squid ball stuffed toy. Don't lose a ball. Uh oh, you're gonna lose a ball.
The sponge blocked the exit.
So this is sauce, sauce hair, and I was more impressed that it's really it's individual components. So yeah, and then this is a wire. It's a wire covered felt covered wire thing. And when we bought it, it was literally in like a kawale, and then you could pick. Oh, you have to put this sauce hat, and then you could pick what your variants are.
Mhm. There are versions of this for kikiam, for fish balls, for squid balls, for barbecue.
Yeah, little things that we picked up at random.
This was for that book.
Yeah, yeah, it was a
That,
national book event,
yeah.
and then you were there to talk about board games.
Okay.
I know there was an Isa one.
Yes, there's
I
an
know there was an
Isa.
Isa one. Okay, okay. Black Swan, I thought they were leaves. And it's Maki. Hey, Maki. Okay. So yeah, I think that's about it. And I know that okay, this quarantine, a lot of these quarantine check-ins are just telling us are just us telling random stories. But you know, it's just this is what we've been doing, and you know, so that we don't go totally crazy. You just kind of celebrate the little
Mhm.
things, and I think that that remains to be like our strategy to get through this extended quarantine. It's just to celebrate the small wins, celebrate the little things, and then try to stay in touch. I'll admit, like I feel I miss, I kind of miss like more online hangouts, like
Mhm.
whether it was long, long like Jackbox games on
Mhm.
Friday nights, or even our long talks with Nico before when he wasn't super busy with work. Um, and and all these things. So, I don't know, but it kind of it's there's the weird irony of missing people, but at the same time, not always feeling up to the hassle of scheduling things
Mhm.
with people. We still schedule the games and the ongoing RPG stuff because that's a little easier to manage because
Mhm.
it's very purposeful. Like we're coming together because we're gonna continue the story. But just like just to randomly hang out with people, I don't know. It always feels a little weird to like set something up. Like when In the Heights came out, I kind of wanted to do a watch party,
Mhm.
but I didn't know who to invite or what to do. Same thing with last night with the Pride show. and Spaces. Like I wanted to watch it with friends, but then we didn't organize anything, so I didn't know how to pull
Hey,
in the last
Kermit.
minute. Squid balls are cute. So guys, good job, Isa stuffed toy thing. We'll have to dig up the creator. I know I tagged them when I on Instagram when I posted them.
And then I think the last. Sorry, I was worried.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Please
I
don't
think
squish my hand.
the last update is yeah. I see that baby.
He's literally the size of a child. I'm not in frame.
That's our latest addition to the family.
I'm so sorry. Oh, last one said I was gonna watch In the Heights. Yes, do watch it. Do watch it. It's super fun, and it's definitely a good example of like what a movie musical can be. I
Mhm.
guess. I mean, I still have uh, some stylistic concerns with some of the visual treatment. But
Yes, that was Unicron.
yes, it's Unicorn. He's pretty secure because he's been up there for more than a week now, and I've been checking on his leg stability.
Mhm.
He's still fine. So yeah, that works out. I didn't because he does have a stand to act as a support, but the stand's base like occupies a table. Like it's super. It's an X that requires a square size space that would not work with a shelf. So
Mhm.
that's that consideration. Yeah. So anything? How long does it take to switch? The first time it took me about 2 hours, but that was also assembling and transformation. So I think actual transformation, depending on familiarity, I think you'll get it under 30 minutes, but it's still a lot of work. What are you doing?
Stand. Just so you can show it.
Oh, okay. And it's mainly because the in order to support its weight, the ratchets are really heavy. So like for reference, look, this is the stand, and it's a huge. I can't fit it in frame, but it's a huge thing. And basically, you mount the ball or the crotch here. And look, you have his backup face. And for those who are curious, there is a 2 hour plus YouTube live video of us, well, of me putting it together and transforming it for the first time.
So yeah, for reference, it's wider than my shoulder.
Yeah, it's a big base mount, but he's doing quite fine on his own. He's doing quite fine. If people see my post workout documentation photos in the morning, you'll probably see Unicron's feet and or wings in the background because I tend to shoot in this corner. Any other stories you guys want to share? How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing fine. I know that based on our individual conversations, there's like a mixed bag of like good and bad this week, which is
Mm.
I guess like every week in quarantine.
For many of us, Father's Day has been a tricky holiday this
Mhm.
year. But in the end, we just have to keep going. We just have to hold on to the good memories and not let the sadness drag us down.
Yeah, and and ultimately, uh, ultimately, Father's Day is still a celebration of the good that different fathers and father figures represent. So
Mhm.
that's never a bad thing to celebrate. And then we all may have different relationships with our fathers and father figures that
Mhm.
may be good, maybe bad. But in the end, today is about remembering the good. So
Yes.
yes. Mitch is like hack tip for those taking the vaccine is buy from distant places. Yes, I mean some especially in the provinces where vaccine supplies are a lot harder.
Mhm.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah. Oh, that's why I said California's opened up, but I think it's too soon. There is that concern. I think that as long as the variants are kind of running wild, and then we haven't reached in pandemic terms a point of eradication, um, then it's always going to be a risk because even with the vaccines, it's not. going to absolutely prevent COVID. It is going to prevent
Serious.
more serious impact, more serious hospitalization needs. But it won't necessarily make you absolutely immune from COVID, especially at the rate that it is mutating, which is a common thing for coronaviruses. So, pretty much.
Mitch also shares, be sure to allot a cool down time before queuing for registration, especially if your blood pressure
high
is
blood
high.
pressure is not allowed. That's the thing. And then make sure also they get to measure your blood pressure properly. I mean, like, because more often than not you're gonna be in monoblock chairs or whatever waiting chairs, and then like they'll ask you to like hold their arm out or something when by right proper blood pressure should be taken with your arm resting on a table, and then that you had time to if you walked, if you were in the sun, you need time to cool down before they take your BP, um, and all these things. So yeah, be know your rights too in terms of your BP.
Mm-mm.
I had a family member who like when they took the blood pressure, no, that's not my blood pressure. Do it again and let's do it properly. And sure enough, it was lower. Okay. Yeah, Jed issues the good reminder. Getting vaccinated doesn't mean you can just party away, especially with the kind that they're deploying for most people here at Kefapanan. Yeah, I mean like, um, and then some people make the mistake of like immediately after getting your second shot, you think you're okay, when it takes at least another 2 weeks for like the efficacy to really hit a decent point. And then again, you're not immune. You're just in a better place. You're better protected. You still have to be careful. And I think that masks are gonna be around for a while. Uh, so that if I yeah, even as I hit a vaccination point, if I do decide to go back to the gym, um, I'm still gonna be masked. I don't know how to manage a face shield though while working out. And then I haven't figured out because most of my exercises are floor exercises. Then how does that work with the social distancing like squares they've put in the gym? I'll have to ask my home gym like how does that work out?
Swana asks, how are you feeling post shot?
I'm okay. So in both cases, I haven't had major side effects. My main side effects was a weird pain numbness that started at the vaccination point, and then it grew out to my entire arm and then most of my left side. So, um, but yesterday was my second dose, so I had similar side effects. But yeah, it wasn't anything more severe than that for me, and I know that it's been different for like almost every member of my family. Uh, they are different stuff.
And trying the walk-in, Jed, I think I'll try to study more if it's
I
really
think-
viable.
Yeah, I'd rather not try to walk in. I just rather maybe try to schedule Toby as A4 and see if they'll let it happen.
Because admittedly, um, I'd rather not get angry at them if they don't let me do it when I go there. Because I will get angry because it means I took time to do it and all this and that. So I think I'll try to see first and communicate if it's an option and what options are before I go there. With the door fiasco, I did have a frustration similar to that. Plus, when the guy broke down the doorknob, I asked if I can buy any doorknob to replace it, and
Yeah.
the guy said yes. Went to Ace Hardware. I asked them if there's specific doorknobs. They said no, they're all the same. So I bought one. Long story short, we tried to install it.
Wrong doorknob.
Wrong doorknob.
It's like, wow, there is a wrong doorknob.
And of course, me and my infinite wisdom, I had torn away the receipt because I do try to clear out my wallet every now and then. And for some reason, that day, I chose to
And it's
tear
so
the
funny
receipt.
because normally I'm the receipt ripper upper.
Yeah, and you're the receipt ripper upper, and I also tend to accumulate the receipts for so long.
Yeah.
But that moment, I bought it, and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be a problem. And sure enough, it became a problem, and I just wasted around 800 pesos for a doorknob, and now bought a new one, which is twice the price, and I'm still hesitant to have it installed because if it's still wrong, I'm gonna get so angry.
It'll be okay now, but now you have the receipt. and you've made many friends at Ace. They talk to the manager and all that.
Because I literally went to them, and the moment I entered with the stuff, I'm like, I went to the customer service. Hi, I know I will not get a refund because I tore the receipt, but this is what happened, and I need your help. And then they were like, sir, kasi hindi na namin, I'm not asking for a refund. I just don't want to buy the wrong thing again. And I can't make that decision. You guys need to help me. So they got someone, and the guy was sobrang explaining, and I'm like, thank you so much, sir. And then before I left, so if this is still wrong, I can replace it, ha? Sir, sige, basta yung receipt niya. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I could just like take a picture, like because normally like we do that for like gadget receipts, like for warranties and stuff. Then we're very instinctively taking photos. But then, yeah, it was just one of the classic moments of not thinking. And it was so atypical of Toby to rip up a receipt that soon.
Because, I think part of it was because I kept confirming every step that I
Mm.
was getting the right thing.
Yeah,
So I was like, sige, I'm trusting them na.
I was arguing with Toby that what if, because the moment he ripped the receipt, he said, "Oh no," then actually he caused the chain of events that made the doorknob wrong.
I magically
That maybe
altered
the doorknob
matter.
could have been okay, but by saying that the tearing of the receipt was wrong, then he retroactively
Because
affected
I'm a
it.
witch.
And yes, Toby's a witch. Or at least has witch powers. Okay.
We'll take note that you should have a spare doorknob.
Yes, we do, and it's of a specific measurement because it fits. The only problem is that little barrel
the
lock
difference
thing.
is you have your standard doorknob, which is a full. You have the one doorknob or doorknob, and they kind of make this dome thing, and then you have the lock thing. Well, that's a standard one, which, according to the buildings person, is the bathroom version of a doorknob. But according to Ace Hardware, is a standard doorknob. And then you have the tumbler doorknob. Tumbler doorknob has these long screw-like poles that are reinforced, and then has this long device. Which, if you look at the device, and that was the thing that broke, which is why he couldn't pull it out. I
Yeah,
think he was not aware of what a tumbler doorknob is.
maybe.
So that thing has two interlocking pieces that can adjust in length
Mm.
for the doorknob. So it can be set that way. If you put the screw here and twist it, it then adjusts that way. And I think had he known what to do, he would have twisted that and it
To
would have
sharpen it.
retracted,
Yeah.
and we would have not had the problem. But he didn't. And we paid him. Anyway,
Technically, you tipped him. We didn't pay him. You tipped him.
yeah,
But
don't know why.
it's okay because it was midnight and we wanted to get into our bedroom.
How did the doorknob break in the first place? It just refused to open.
Yeah. It was like
Despite using keys.
it was after a Tuesday Baduy Pride, and then it just locked, and it's like we never locked the bedroom.
Yeah.
And then we had the key. We used the key. It was just turning. It wasn't unlocking. So the key portion of the mechanism had disconnected from the lock mechanism, so it was permalocked.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not. I mean, it's a rental, so we didn't exactly choose all the components, right?
We're just happy it happened and we were both out here.
Yeah, and it
Plus-
wasn't like one of us, or like we were locked in, and then we wouldn't be able to call the front desk.
Imagine if we were locked inside, even if we called with our cell phones, how will we open the front door?
Yeah,
We would literally start having fears of starving to death.
okay, it wouldn't be that bad. We would get out eventually.
We would break down that door
Yes.
because my tools are out there, not in the bedroom. Should I move my
I would
tools
be
to the bedroom?
no, because you might. What if the tools were locked in the bedroom and then we're out here?
So I should have two sets of tools.
Oh yeah, Jed. If we were locked in, it would be a literal escape room. And as much as we love escape room games, I don't think we would love a real life escape room scenario.
No. I wouldn't mind if it were that. If we didn't have to pay for it afterwards and fix it again. If it's like, yeah, let's tear the door open. And then afterwards, we're out. Bye-bye. Then go for it. I'd be happy to do that. But the fact is, we'll have to fix that door. We'll have to... and we just had the sink fixed. And then we just had...
Yeah, we had a bunch of home repairs triggering in this last few months.
I can really sense it. The aircon's coming up next. The aircon wants to be noticed.
It's because every maintenance guy who's been over is like, hey, Who cleans your aircon? You want us to clean your aircon?
And it's patterns. I have this thing about patterns.
Because he's a witch. So if Toby thinks about it too much, it's gonna happen.
But I tend to be right when it comes to these pattern crap.
Which makes it all the worse.
Right? I mean, even with like other people, ay nako, they're sleeping together. And then true enough, they are sleeping together.
Why is this your example? Okay. Black Swan, of course, cites on no tools in the bedroom. Yes, no tools.
No,
Only
tools are-
toys.
Okay.
There are toys in the
But
bedroom.
the straps count as tools or toys?
Depending, could be garment or accessories.
Well, we're not wearing it to bed. It's
Both will.
Because that's kind of still a tool, right? And not a toy.
I don't know, because if you think about the definition of a tool,
Definitions on a quarantine episode. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We are hitting. Oh my god! I never started the timer. We are hitting an hour and a half.
yeah, we should probably wrap up. Plus, Antutan
Yes.
says it's gonna
we
be
would like
on.
to support the Antutan show. Do join us there if you can.
Yeah, and because Mami Let is going to guest. So, woo.
And then Jed, we still want to have you as a guest. We want to talk about DJing, music, how much you hate Time Bomb being requested. Do let us know when we can have you as a guest. Not necessarily present here. Okay lang virtual.
In our defense, we never request specific songs. We just say kind.
No, I request specific songs.
Okay, then yeah, Toby's that person.
Because sometimes I want a certain song. And, I stick to a small list because those are the names I remember.
That is the truth. That is the truth. Names and Toby, it's like, ooh, if wishes were fishes. Ooh, boy.
The names would make claims. Okay, I guess that's it.
Oh, you just
for
wanted to
this.
throw in a rhyme, huh? I know you. Nainggit ka. I just said wishes for fishes, which is a Dune quote, mind you.
I know. Mine isn't. Top 10 Obar stuff. Ooh, that sounds like a good
That needs a
episode.
bit more specificity.
No,
What Obar
for
stuff?
Jed will talk about his top 10.
Okay, we'll just interview Jed and like Mark. And if Marco, if he wants to
His
join.
top 10
Yeah.
Obar. Oh, yeah, the two of them. That'll be great. And then, the top 10 Obar moments. That'll be nice. All right, I guess we can wrap up this episode. This was a quarantine episode. That's quarantine check-in episode.
Wait, that
So,
happens in quarantine.
For any of you who are new to this, you can see how it's just like hanging out with friends and talking. Only you aren't really with friends and you aren't really talking, but it's still fun. We had a lot of fun,
We're just talking to a camera and it's like pretending we're all in a room together.
and we're talking to the distant past future.
to the ether.
Because the moment we say something, they don't receive it until 15 seconds later.
Yeah, there's a time
And
delay.
then they comment, which we then don't see till 15 seconds later. So 30 seconds have passed before we react to a statement made to a statement that we said.
It makes for a weird conversation. Toby just wants to make it sound weirder than it is.
Oh, so it's like The Expanse.
Yes. It is like signal delay in the expanse. See, this is how we flirt.
Are you flirting?
Well, I'm turned on.
Okay, we gotta go. Bye bye. This has been our quarantine check-in episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next time.
Sorry, I have no caption. So if for questions or suggestions for future episode topics, please fill in the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. You can follow us on Twitter, all Toby No Shade, RG Sunico.
You can also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. How's your week going? How are you coping with quarantine? Share your stories with us. We would love to hear from you. And be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy
Pride.
Good night, everyone. You stay safe.
Thanks